trousers is you can't sit on anything dirty. I've forgotten to put my microphone in like an absolute plonker. Hey, I think you'll be able to hear me better now. I've also come downstairs without my laptop and I need it for today's video. So whilst I get my laptop, roll the credits. And my battery dies. Right, is this actually going to be anything else that can go wrong before I start Mr. Vlog? Anything else? No? Right, okay, so today's vlog, I'm literally just going to sit here and chat to you about something. So if this isn't your kind of vlog that you enjoy, I'm really sorry. I'm going to do a super casual vlog this weekend. I've got 2 gigs, 2 wedding gigs. And I'm just going to film the happy stuff, the social stuff. I'm not going to film the work stuff. At least that's the plan. So I promise I will give you a non-formal musician. Well, let's just have a week off. Let's just have a vlog off. Okay, so today's question is, what's more important, feel or theory? And what I mean by that is, so from a music point of view, is it more important to know every scale? Is it important to know what notes to play over certain parts of the song? Or is it better to know the basics and just really groove it out and feel it out? And we're going to be talking about a few points today on things that I've kind of learned on the road. Things I've kind of learned on the way, but they're things nevertheless that I think you guys will be able to talk to me about in the comments below and help me to kind of learn a bit more about this. So that's the hope. But first, I'm going to put a status on Facebook because we're going to do like a live Q&A. I'm quite nervous about this because I'm going to go live on Facebook to do this, which means that they're going to be seeing what I'm vlogging. Quite scary. But we're going to do it. We're going to do it. It's going to be fine. It's going to be good. How do you go live on a laptop? Can you go live on a laptop? Ooh. I thought you could, but maybe you can't. Okay, this is a game changer. I might have to do it on my phone. Okay, that's not a problem. That's not a problem. It's also hard to know where to do this because I want to do it on my personal one because I know more people are going to reply, but I'm going to do it on my music one and share it. What is more important, theory or feel? We're going live. Right, I'm just going to wait for a few more people to join. We're live. This is it, guys. This is where my internet fails me when I want to share this post. I thought I had good internet here. Maybe not. Right, we're moving locations. This isn't working. We've had to resort back to the trusty office. Today's been a really hard video, guys. I cannot lie to you. Right, let's try again. Take 2. Hey, and the counter is ticking. Okay, so for the recording of this video, sorry, I should have started with this. We're doing a Q&A live on the vlog. You are live here, and you are live here. And we're basically asking the question, you know, is theory more important than feel? And what I mean by that is when you see an artist, when you see their work, are you more moved because of the feel of what they do and just because they believe in what they're doing, or like the theory side, do you like listening to sort of like jazz that's really theory based and stuff? And I'm just really interested to know what you guys are saying. Okay, so whilst this is gathering up, like I think, my personal opinion on this is I think feel, no matter how much you like try and deny it, I think feel seems to be winning the game stronger than theory. Purely when you look at like mainstream. I'm talking in like a music aspect. When you look at mainstream, there's a lot more feel and a lot more emotional stuff out there than there is.
Just saw me look at the camera and then slide down.
What, here? Marty's with us, guys, by the way. Hey guys, who have we got? In fact, Louis, you'd be a great guy to comment on this if you wouldn't mind. What do you think works best? How do you feel personally? Are you down for feel or theory? To you guys on the vlog, my personal opinion, I feel like feel hits me better. It didn't used to be. I really wanted to be like I wanted to know all my theory. I really wanted to like compete against these big jazz cats, and you know, it's like money. It's like wealth. Like there's never a top level, and when you get to a certain level you'll always want to go up to that next level. And I guess it's who you surround yourself with as well. If you're hanging around with people that really know their theory, you just keep going up and up at that level, and then you hit levels like Corey Henry level, and even he will be striving to hit the next level of whoever inspires him. It's like a never-ending chain, and it can be quite depressing, that. So to avoid that, I've had to teach myself that, you know, feel is fine. Like it's definitely something that you either want to strive for or not. If you enjoy just the feel of stuff, and actually a lot of the songs you guys will probably listen to will be from the heart more than it will be from the head. And I think that's kind of the question that we're kind of answering today. As a songwriter, that's now how I'm starting to like accept and starting to write stuff. I'm not like trying to go for theory and trying to make it the coolest, edgiest thing. Sometimes the songs that are hitting me the most at the moment are just ones that just really tell a story. And in fact, the first song I'm going to release is like it's like a 3-chord song, and I never thought I would have sat there and been happy to write a 3-chord song, and I was happy to write a 3-chord song because it just I felt like I got a story out of me. I got something out of me that I just wanted to express and tell everybody, and that's a really powerful thing. So hey guys, on Facebook Live, who have we got? We've got Ben, Louis still around, we've got Clark, man, I ain't seen that man in a long time. So Louis has said, yeah, I think feel hits the audience. Corey's feel is ridiculous though. Yes, I fully agree with that. He's nailed both. He's got feel and theory, and he can express himself like fully. That's a sick like bridge crossover that I hadn't thought about. It's just like when you know your theory, to be able to express yourself fully, because you know everything, well not everything, but you know a lot of how you want to express what you're thinking and what you're feeling, then to know the theory will help with that. I guess that's a genre-based thing as well, because you couldn't release a song like mainstream pop that just went sort of all these crazy places to express your anger. I hope that one day you can, and you know, one day you could as well. Jazz was at one point a mainstream thing, so we are just talking about now. Feel 100% though for Louis, big. It'd be interesting to know actually from some musicians, like in terms of work, where have you managed to find yourself some work, and how did you get that work? When I was at university, I remember looking at these like jazz cats, like wow, you know so much stuff, and they were always busy. And actually, as I went through uni, I realised the things they were actually busy for was relatively simple in terms of like theory. But they were getting all the work because of the feel, and actually their gigs that they probably let loose on and let their theory out were the real small gigs, actually, with a small group of people that were just really into that. Because that was a real eye-opener at uni. Daniel here has said, I'd say feel because people call me based on how I play rather than what I play. Yeah, that's a real, cheers Daniel for that input. I think that's it's really nice when you see actual artists and people that are out on the circuit giving that kind of feedback. So I think one of my biggest fears when I was doing all this like songwriting and learning about all this kind of stuff at uni, my main concern was that I was never that great at the theory stuff. It took me so much longer for it to all sink in and to be able to actually use it in live situations. It just did not click with me that much. Now I'm with Louis and Daniel in that my theory, my feel stuff is what's getting me more of the calls at the moment in terms of work. The guy we played for, we being me and Marley sat here doing work as well. Last week, you know, we got that call based on feel, and that was like so far the biggest thing that I've ever done, by quite a long way, and I'm really excited for that to be released and show you guys. But again, that was feel, it wasn't theory. But my biggest fear in uni was that I couldn't keep up with this whole side of things. And I remember going to a jam night once, and the level of musicianship, it was in Manchester, the level of musicianship was like absolutely insane. I was so pumped just watching all these people just deliver the best performances I've seen, and it was heavily jazz based. And there was a guy, I can't remember his name. Can you remember the name of that keys player that was at a jam night at the Roots? I can't remember his name. But he came up to me afterwards and he was just like, look, all these guys are my students. They work ridiculously hard, many hours practicing a day. And he just said, you know, I've just met you for the first time, but I want you to know that, like, just because you've got feel, you shouldn't be afraid of that. I think I was obviously giving off the vibe that like I didn't really know what I was doing to compete against these guys. And he just gave me a bit of reassurance. He was just saying it's actually super rare to find people that have got feel on this kind of circuit compared to the people that have got theory, and that will stick with me for life. Just the reassurance this guy gave me that, you know, I got up there and did something that was completely different to these guys, and there was nothing wrong with that, because an emotional performance will probably connect with a lot more people than theory. So that kind of thought is why this whole thing's, why I'm asking these questions today. Right, let's have a catch up, see if anybody else has come in. It's all about whether you can deliver. A lot of the time people want to know that you can play the songs well, with good time pocket and feel, rather than knowing the theory side of things. It's all about whether you can deliver. Completely. Fully agree with that, Daniel. And sorry, Daniel, you're down here. I keep looking at the camera thinking you're here. I think that's the most important thing. Whether you can deliver. There's quite a few people that I've met on the circuit that have done. They don't make you question like, how have you got the job, but it's become apparent that they've got the job because they never make mistakes. They nail exactly what they need to do for the sake and the job of that gig, and that's why they've got the job. I think there are a lot of people that take risks, and then risks can go two ways. Risks can take you to the top, and like, I mean, think of Corey Henry. I'm pretty sure he's probably at the top because of all the risks he took solo wise and all the stuff that he was just so out there and just went for it, and that's got him to amazing places. But a couple of bad gigs that went sour and went the wrong way with risks that were taken could have easily sent him the other way, because it is a brutal industry. It's sort of like, if you are known for making those couple of mistakes every now and then, that's straight away got doubt. And there's so many people competing for the same place that I think it could quite easily send you into, not the bad books, but it could send you to a place where you can't no longer compete with someone that nails it every single time. And yeah, they may play things a lot more basic, they may be a lot less interesting to listen to, but if they're nailing the parts for these artists, I think they're most likely to get the job, I think. And that was another massive learning curve, in the fact that it's not that essential. You do need to know all your theory. There's a much bigger picture than that. Industry's very unforgiving. Yeah, Daniel on Facebook's just said the industry's very unforgiving, and it really, really, really is. It kind of puts you a little bit on edge. This is a controversial. For me personally, it kind of makes me feel a little bit on edge sometimes, because it makes you aware of how you're coming across to people. You're kind of a little bit aware that when you're meeting new people that are pretty big in the industry, you're a little bit more conscious of just a lot of things that you do. I'm sure that will change, like with you know, when you get used to being in these kind of scenarios, because I'm kind of new to all that. So yes, it's unforgiving. That's definitely true. I've heard so many horror stories where people have done one little thing that's just been off, and it's just thrown everything, and then they'll never get the call again. It's like if you get given an opportunity but you turn it down, maybe because you've got something else, and to you that thing's important, but to the other person, because you've not accepted that gig. I've heard of people that have just never got the call ever again, and their time is like passed, and now they've gone on to different jobs and they're doing other stuff, and they were like, I did have my opportunity but I didn't take it at the time. And it's so easily done as well. It's something that cannot be avoided, I think. This is annoying, I have to keep refreshing. Who have we got? Andy Taft. I did a gig with Andy Taft at O2 Academy in Leeds, and man, that gig was about feel. He's like, Andy, I hope you don't mind me saying this, but he's like kind of blues driven in terms of like the kind of theory he goes down, and then he's got some jazz theory that he like sticks in there every now and then for that taste. He's really into his like neo soul kind of vibes. And Andy, I would say you're definitely a feel kind of guy, but let me know what are you thinking? Daniel's just added to what we were just talking about, but then at the same time I think that you need to have a certain level of theory so that when it's time to draw for the card, it's there. This is the whole thing of, you know, what level is knowing your theory. It could be that it's knowing a four chord progression and how that works, and being able to, like Daniel says, pull that card out when you need to know exactly what chord's coming. That can also be super helpful if you're thrown into a situation where you've got to learn songs quick. So yeah, maybe a basic level of theory, yeah, is also just as important as feel. But I guess that kind of comes if you at the level where you can add feel to what you're doing, then I guess you already have that sort of basis. But it's a really good point. Always comes down to feel, Andy says. I went to watch and film Ward Thomas. I don't know if you guys remember that video I did. I'll link it up here. But I went to film them, and that's actually where I met Louis again. I'd met him in London and he invited me down. I filmed them a video and I was watching the musicians, and all the musicians that play for Ward Thomas, they're like a duo folk acoustic kind of act, and then they had a backing band, and all those musicians are great. I follow them on Instagram and I love everything they do. But what they were playing was relatively simple. But the reason they were able to deliver the feel and deliver everything else was because they were at musically at a level that's above that, but being able to drop down to that and then like feel it in other areas because they're comfortable with their theory side of the songs they were playing. That's also a really important thing. I hope you guys are all having a sick day, by the way. It's actually giving us some good weather. Sunshine's always great for creativity. I love it. Oh, Andy's left a good old message. Here we go. Of course I love using theory as a tool. It helps me in writing and soloing, but it's just a way helping me expressing myself and making other people feel new things or feeling similar things. You can express yourself more when you have more theory, but it has to make people feel, and if it doesn't, then it's redundant. You can feel and groove with 2 chords. Alternatively, you can have all the chords in the world and all the technical knowledge, know-how, but if people don't feel it, it's not going to transmit. That literally sums up my personal opinion on this whole situation. In fact, I think that's a real good place to conclude. So I think learn as much theory as you feel comfortable with. There's always room for improvement. It's literally never ending. You'll never hit a point where you know all the theory, so don't stress yourself about it. It's not the be all and end all. If you are a relatively new musician maybe to the industry or to the world, I think we would all recommend working on your feel as much as possible. That's the message, that's the way you're going to deliver the message and what you're about. This is you saying like, bam, I'm here, I'm in the industry, this is what I'm here to do. That's what it seems like everyone's saying is the most important thing for you guys to focus on. If you are already in the industry and you already know your stuff, I hope you agree with a lot of the stuff we've chatted about today. If you're over here on Facebook or Instagram, for everybody else that's here in the vlog, I hope you have found this interesting and useful to hear some other people's opinions as well. Definitely put your comments below. Same as you guys on Facebook, keep putting your comments below because we can continue to chat about this. Until next time, take care, and remember, never stop creating. See you later, guys. Bye. Oh, I forgot to say, if you are still here, thank you so much for still being here. Don't forget to hit that like button. If you could do one thing today, if you could tell one other person about this channel that doesn't know about this channel, that would be sick. Get them to subscribe. And if you guys aren't subscribed, definitely do that too, because if you keep coming back, then it makes sense. So, cheers. Thank you for watching. Over and out. Take 2. Never stop creating.